Hello Year 5, welcome to Thursday's maths lesson. So we've got some special numbers up on the screen today. I've highlighted some in yellow. Have a look at these numbers. What's special about them? There's a special name for them as well. I wonder if you know what it is. Pause the video here, have a look, and when you're ready to move on, press play. These numbers are called prime numbers. So they're a whole number that's greater than 1 that only has one factor pair. That would be 1 and the number itself. For example, 5 is a prime number because the only factors it has are 5 and 1. So what is a number that isn't a prime number called? Can you remember from the video I put out before half term? It's a composite number. So it's a whole number that can be made by multiplying other whole numbers. For example, we know 6 can be made by multiplying 1 and 6 together, but it can also be made by multiplying 2 and 3. So it's a composite number. So it's important to remember composite numbers have more than one factor pair. A prime number only has one factor pair. Prime numbers cannot be arranged in an array in any other way than a single row. Using 5 as an example, here I have a single row of 5 counters in a nice, neat shape. Can I do it any other way? Well, I tried this way. I've got 3 rows. 2 of them have got 2 counters in. 1 of them's only got 1 counter in. So no, that doesn't work. How about if I change the size of the rows? No, that hasn't worked either. I've got 1 row with 3 counters in it and 1 row with 2 counters in it. So we can now show with using arrays that 5 is a prime number because there is only one way of arranging it, which means we've only got one factor pair for that number. So prime numbers only have one factor pair, as we discussed. And this was the only way that I could arrange 5 in a plain rectangular or square shape. Here's a challenge for you. Without rewinding the video and going back to the beginning, can you find all the prime numbers below 100? Your challenge is to arrange them into the table, so all the numbers that end in a 1, a 3, a 7, and a 9, and put them in the table. Pause the video here. Okay. Now, what about number 2 and number 5? Are they prime numbers? Can you explain your answer? They are prime numbers. It's important to remember that 2 is the only even prime number as it only has one factor pair of 1 and 2. And 5 is a prime number as it also only has one factor pair. So that is the only number that ends in a 5 that is a prime number. So look at the numbers that we've got in my table. You might want to check your answers because there may be some you've missed. If you've missed them, add them onto your table so you've got them for future reference. Have a look at the numbers. What do you notice about all of those numbers? Pause the video here to have a look. They're all odd numbers. This is important because an odd number doesn't end in a 2 or an even number, so a 2, a 4, a 6, or an 8. And a prime number also doesn't end in a 5 or a 0. Can you explain why? So even numbers are divisible by 2, and numbers ending in 5 and 0 are divisible by 5, and numbers ending in 0 are divisible by 10. So this would give us additional factors of that given number. So it would mean that it doesn't only have a single factor pair, which means it is a composite number and not a prime number. I'll see you tomorrow, Year 5.